What up, people?
Woohoo! What up?
Yo,
We in here.
we out here.
We out here.
We are in.
We in here. We out here. We there.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever officially been on one of your podcasts,
Really?
or like not I think I've usually like popped up here and there, but I don't think I've ever actually
Formally
been on from beginning to end as a guest.
Weird.
Ever.
Well, this is my brother.
Have I? I don't know.
Maybe long ass time ago. I have done podcast over a long time.
Very true. Very true. It's possible, but yeah, I don't think it's
I do take space breaks in between though. Very
That
long
is also
breaks.
very true.
Shit, everyone needs some space.
I feel bad for my accounts though.
Yeah. Well, I'll preface your audience by letting them know that I have no clue what's going on here. So.
Basically, it's just bullshit. We just smoke, get high, and bullshit. About random shit.
Well, this will be a treat because I'm talented in that area.
That's exactly.
Scary for us and lucky for everyone at home.
So, usually, like, I don't know, just pick a topic.
All right, well, I like to start off pretty hot here.
Coming in hot.
I'll talk about shirts.
Shirts.
Specifically, shirts that go missing in the laundry.
Yes.
All right.
We've had this discussion about fucking pants and stuff before.
I have never thrown away a shirt in my life that didn't have a hole in it or a stain on it or another reason that I don't want it anymore. Shirts that I want, I just always have them until I fucking don't one day because I did some
Because
laundry.
eventually, yeah, you just don't.
I didn't. I can think of so many shirts I've had over my life that like, oh, dude, that was a sick shirt. I love that shirt. Like,
And
oh, I
then
got
just
that
vanish.
shirt for back to school. Like, that was the shit. Like, and I don't have it anymore. But I never gave it away. I never threw it away.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to say that I don't think I've ever thrown away a shirt, ever. No
That's
matter
what I'm
what
saying.
condition it's been in.
So how do I not have every shirt I've ever worn in my life still?
Right? Still, yeah.
Where do they go?
Where's
It's
that
like,
accumulation
they get
of shirts?
dirty, I put it in the laundry. It's gone. It's just gone. And I don't.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it makes it out of the laundry, and sometimes it doesn't make it out of the laundry. Like what the fuck happens inside of washing machines?
Yeah. Does it just like degrade into nothing because I've worn it so much, and then it doesn't make it through the wash one night? Like I don't.
Does
understand.
anybody else have access to your laundry?
Are you saying that there's an active plot to
Yeah, just kill
just
all the
decipher
shirts
my-
along your
my
life.
wardrobe?
I feel like, all right. So I have caught people over my lifetime actively taking things that they didn't particularly like me wearing or thought I liked too much, and then throwing it out without my knowledge, thinking that there's without my knowledge. But I'm a sneaky motherfucker. I'm very observant. I may not even ever say
on
it
the
to
back of my
somebody.
shirt.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
like-
I've also thrown away a lot of shirts, but I collect a lot of shirts. I used to get a lot from the church back in the day. They would just throw shirts at you, and I would have like 10 of the same fucking shirt. And I'm like, I'm one of those people, I'll bag it up and I take it to like the Goodwill or fucking St. Vincent de Paul and just donate it. So
Me and how I came up, I played basketball. Basketball was my primary shirt, like my primary like thing to do, right? And in basketball, you wear jerseys that with the sleeves cut off.
yeah.
So if I ever had a shirt that was like past its any form of presentable wearable for a teenage boy, which is not saying much.
Yeah.
Right?
If it was at that point where it really needed to be thrown away, I would cut the sleeves off and make it a basketball
Like a
jersey or something
workout
like.
shirt.
Exactly, it'd be a
Yeah.
workout shirt. I would just cut the sleeves off super big, and so I've literally never thrown one of those away. I've never thrown away an actual shirt, but somehow, to this day, I don't have one, and I'm like, where are all those shirts?
I leave clothes at places. At least when I was a teenager, I used to do that a lot. I used to like get blacked out. No, I never really got blacked out drunk, but twice that I can remember. Like that I know that I was
If you got
blacked
so
out.
blacked out, you just don't even.
You know,
I was that blacked out these
out.
times. Like it's the only times I'm like, oh, I
By
know I
definition,
was
that's- you
blacked
wouldn't
out.
even remember.
I woke up in different places and was like, I don't know how I got here. It was that kind of blacked out. I'm like, oh, I just all of a sudden woke up in a new place. I don't know how I got here. I don't know these people. I don't know none of this shit. I'm so confused right now. And I'm still somewhat drunk.
And someone took my fucking shirt.
Yeah, that's
It's a
happened.
brother.
I've left them at the river side a
Yeah.
lot when I've gone floating. Like shirts get tore up, or I rip one up and make booties out of it, and then just leave the scraps when I get to my car.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the shirts that the everyday wear and tear, whether it's fucking blowing them out at the skate park or like at the river, making it a workout shirt, whatever. Like, I mean, that's at least those like serve their purpose and they become something else, and it's whatever. But like, I know that I've had more shirts in my life than the memories I have of times that I've gotten rid of shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, way more fucking
Exactly.
shirts. Got like almost 30 years worth of shirts, and I only got a couple memories of ever getting rid of any of them.
Yeah, like I can
Besides the
definitely
ones
count
they
on one hand the amount of times I've thrown an article of clothing away. You know?
That's what I'm saying. So like, is it just so like?
I think
Is there
somebody's
something-
getting rid of them.
Well, is there like something about like?
I think it's conspiracy, and
know.
somebody you've pissed off the government or something, and
Should we not talk about it?
they.
Should we
I
not?
say the only way to stop it is to bring it forth, right? Because it's like sock gnomes. Sock gnomes, they come into the dryer, they steal your socks, and if you don't catch the little bastards and call them out for it, you're always gonna lose the sock. It's always one. It's always like the left sock or the right sock.
True.
It's some bullshit.
It's
So
not
you
like I
notice
ever
that
throw away one sock.
One sock.
You know,
Yeah.
this pair of socks has been great, but I wish it was only
we
one.
won, and then all of a
No.
sudden,
Nah.
all of a
Gotta
sudden you
get
get
rid
to
of
the
this
end of the
one
week
sock.
and you're like, how is it that I have literally one pair of socks when I had two pairs for every day of the week, and now I have one pair for every day of the week because one sock is missing from each pair, and now I got a single pair.
This joint turned out way better than the struggle I went through the road.
It looks nice.
It does look
Got a nice
very
little curve
professional.
to
It looks like
things
it.
that.
It's rid for her
Alright.
pleasure.
For her pleasure.
What was that? I saw on After Dark with Dr. Drew that there's a medical condition from people that like squeeze their dick too much.
Just squeeze it.
Too
Like
much?
squeeze it like at the end, or they get scar tissue from like having incorrect surgery, from having the foreskin removed, and it causes the penis to restrict at one end and balloon up at the other end. So then you get
Like
like
a
this little
fucking
indent.
like cloud balloon animal
Yeah, like
type
an
thing.
animal balloon.
Just like squeezing one end of a balloon, basically.
You're like squeezing down the center because it always like shrinks right in the center. So you got like poofy dick on the back up against your body, then squeeze down,
Weird.
and then poofy dick at the front. And it's a problem.
Sounds like
It
a
can
problem.
cause like urinary issues and all kinds of other stuff.
I can fucking imagine. Yeah, he caused all the problems and stuff to do with that.
Yeah, if someone called in was like, "Is this an issue?" He's like, "Yes."
Talk about rib for her pleasure, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's,
I
why,
was
that's
saying,
why I
like,
brought it to my memory. I was like,
Like, it
"This
sounds
guy's
just
got
like one of
fucking
those
balloon
fucking
animal cocks."
vibrator things, those
Yeah.
lemon toy things, all different shapes.
Some people pay for
When
that.
you get the curve too, that's just like scar tissue building up
Yeah,
on one
just
side for
pulling
like
one side
pulling
tighter.
on two sides, and that shit will fuck in. So if you, I'm not saying you should, but if you do want to hit her with that fucking curved cock, yank on it
Get to
one
work.
side, build up some scar tissue.
Yeah, they shove fucking.
I think that's what the Chili
octopus
Peppers
legs
song
and
was
shit
actually
up in
about.
there.
Scar tissue?
Scar tissue, I wish you saw.
Yeah. Well, you can't see it because it's on my cock. But
That's
Metaphor,
why he wishes.
you know?
That's why he wishes.
they're artists.
It's a wish. I know you can't, but I wish you could.
I wish you saw, but it'd be public indecency. I'm sorry.
Oh, he doesn't give a shit. His dick's
I'll
out.
put a
anyway.
sock over it. We'll
Yeah.
be close.
It's close
Right.
enough. He's like, my testicles are still getting there. You can still see the fucking rimples on my ball sack. But the dick's hot. It's hidden. It's like having the nipples, just the nips covered. Like, everything else is out there. But just to the areola edge. Just covered. I'm like, I respect it. But I hate society for having to make you do that. I'd much rather just be able
It's
to
very
lap up.
weird.
It is very weird.
Dude, you know what's weird to think about too is, okay, think about like a few hundred years ago, or think like 500 years ago, like women were like they were like barely, considered members of society in a lot of cultures.
Yeah, they're
and, like,
property.
second class citizens, property, and like they were objectified so much, and yet like it was always like, oh, you can't, like all the clothes they were wearing and shit is like we shouldn't even know that you have breasts. Like,
Yeah.
that we should not know. We should not be aware of that. And then fast forward like a couple hundred years in like, you know, maybe Victorian times, and it's like, really, for the most part, shouldn't know, but like some classy cleavage is acceptable.
Yeah, so like
On the right
beginning
occasion,
ideas of
you know,
carrying
don't be
yourself
a
like a
whore.
lady.
Yeah.
But
no,
a
we need
corset
to
with a
see
little
we need to
push-up is
see
okay.
a butt cheek between your tits. And then I also need you to put on one of those giant romper things
Yep.
underneath.
Yeah.
So it makes your ass look like it's not even human.
That would keep the gentleman going.
Right?
Crazy.
I need it to look like a rhinoceros ass so I
Yeah,
can
I
hunt
need-
that shit.
And then you fast forward to like 60s, 70s, where like, or I mean before that, like 50s, 40s, 50s, where you had like the
Yeah.
super pointy bras. And, like,
Yeah.
where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now like
Mm.
you can draw attention to these things.
Yeah.
And then you fast forward to like 70s, 80s. Oh, you can like show your nipples through stuff.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
show your
yeah.
pokies. And now we're at like
Full blown.
pasties is legal
Yeah.
clothing,
Mhm.
and you can wear that outside. And like for the most, I mean, it probably depends on where you are, but for the most part, like
Yeah.
you're not going to be like, you know,
Yeah.
given a scarlet letter.
Not gonna
And
be
so it's
stoned like
okay,
still in a lot of places in the world. You still get stoned.
How-
for
Yes,
that.
stoned
How-
to
yeah,
death,
dude,
like
exactly.
thrown off a
So
building.
how many years following that trajectory are we until it's just like full nudity is like, it's just
Oh.
okay.
I mean,
Not that I'm not okay with
That's
it.
a very interesting.
But like,
that's
if
an
you-
interesting
if you-
question.
if you
Yeah,
look
it
at
is
the
an interesting
timeline and
question.
look at the trajectory of like society.
I give it
It's
5 years.
predictable. We'll be
Acceptance
naked in
of
100
kids.
years. Yeah, we'll be naked. in
100%
less
in
than
100 years. I give it 5 years, and cocks are just flying all over the place. Seattle already has one whole day dedicated to just being able to walk straight, buck
Yeah.
naked,
There's naked
no matter how
marathons,
good you look.
naked
In New
bike
Orleans, there's
rides,
naked bike rides. Yeah, there's naked bike
That
rides.
sounds like a
naked- there's
terrible
new
idea,
beaches.
Yeah, we have new beaches.
unless
we're
you
close.
want a bike seat up your butt.
Society is on its way to being clothing optional, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we've had, there's always been a place to be naked.
Yeah.
And we were naked for so long.
Yeah.
For so long.
We're cool with
Eventually
it.
we'll revert back. It's just a longer trend cycle than like the other trend cycles. There's little trend cycles of fashion in between this trend cycle of starting fucking naked for so long and then clothed
that
for
kinda
a long
sucks for the
period of
fashion
time and then we'll just go back to naked. And
But
then
I
people,
guess there's still always going to be some type of way to decorate naked because
Oh, yeah.
we'll always have
Paint.
that innate
Supreme
desire to.
paint, Supreme red.
Yeah, we'll have to like have that innate desire to like. If
Be
we're all naked,
yourself.
how am I going to show that I'm better than you?
yeah,
You know,
exactly. And that's when
And
we
everyone's
get back
not
to
gonna
like
work out, you know.
big
It's
earrings,
like-
big
it's
lip
accessories.
plates,
Exactly.
Nail paint.
big earrings, big lip plates, fucking stretch necks, like
Dude, we just go all the
feet
way
crushed, like yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Holy
You start
shit.
over
If we're gonna
again.
go all the way
You
back.
start over again, man.
Man, well, maybe it's not so bad if we lose our shirts, you know? Maybe it's where we're headed anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just,
Sure, yeah. You're
I'm
right.
just
yeah.
embarrassed.
We just let it ride.
I'm just embarrassed because I'm a fat, pudgy piece of shit, and the world should make fun of me. It should. It will help me get skinny.
Just shame you and just skinny.
Yes, man. Shame is a good thing. That's
I'm okay
how
with that. I'm
we
big on
grow.
merit.
Yeah, that's how we grow. Like shame is how we grow. Like that's how the military teaches people to like grow. Is like they beat you down, break you down, and then rebuild
They
you
just,
in there.
like, they don't really teach you, they force you. You know?
Yeah.
But
So do your friends if you have good friends that like when you're a kid that
Yeah, it's
gave
the
you
same-
shit
same
and like
concept.
fucking called
Yeah,
you out on your
everything's
bullshit.
so pussified
It's
now.
so
Shame is
fucking
just- shame is
pussified.
very
It
powerful.
really upsets me. I can't stand
It's
it. Like
the weakest of the
just
weak.
that idea, like like when we were younger, we used to give each other
The
shit.
shit.
Yeah, like just
Like-
like in it. It wasn't like you really wanted any harm to come to your
No,
friends.
yeah,
Like,
it was
you're
just
trying
to
build
build
you
them-
up, build the group up.
and
Like yeah.
everybody's strong. Like we had to make the weakest link at the time get stronger. I was the weakest link most of the time, so I dealt with a lot of the shit, and I don't regret any of it.
Exactly.
was-
It makes you.
It made me fucking strong as shit. To where even today I'm like pumping gas and this kid's like looking at me funny because I go in with the blue bandana and he's standing out there with the red bandana. And I'm like, and he's staring at me. And I'm like, what up, bud? And I got a red truck, mind you. So it ain't like it's a thing that I'm trying to be out here just fucking banging on home. It ain't my blacks. I go to this dude and go, what's up, dude? And this little white boy goes, I'm just out here booling.
Where's this?
Why are you
7-Eleven?
looking at me, dog? Well, I thought you were out here doing some other shit. And if I was,
And if I would, what is the other shit so that I can start doing that shit right now?
Yeah.
Dude?
then what are you gonna do about it? Well, I'm just out here. I'm like, yeah, add a shell, dog. Walking around like you're gonna do something. I was like,
Go home, man.
do you even got a gun on you, dog? Do you? Nah. Well, then you probably shouldn't pick fights with motherfuckers that do.
Not.
That's a terrible idea for you.
Like when Fed smoke around and
Dude, yeah, I was just like, this kid's, I'm pumping my gas the whole fucking time. He's just like walking back and forth, staring at me. I'm like, what's up, bud? This is my neighborhood, bro. You're in the wrong section of town if you think you're gonna do this shit. I will shoot you in front of the shell. Not a problem. I'd rather teach you a lesson, though, because you're young and you don't understand the world yet.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I grew up with 14 adopted brothers.
Yeah.
Two of us are the same age. There's me and Travis, who are about 8 months apart. You know, so he's my homie. The other 12 of us are 7 years. When we were 12, they were 19. So there was, and they didn't let us
Slide at all.
anything. Let
No
us
slide.
anything. Allow nothing. It wasn't because they fucking hated us, like we were just because we were the youngest.
We needed to make
It was
sure you were
because
safe.
they're 19, we're still hanging with them, and when they pick fights with other groups of 19-year-olds, they
You
need
better
to
be
know
able to
that the
stand on
12-year-olds
yours.
are good.
Yeah, like I don't need to like expect that you're gonna get hurt. I need to expect that,
that you're
going
gonna
to
handle
hurt.
shit too. Exactly.
Because if I have to worry about you, you can't come. That's the problem. Like if I have to worry about you, you can't come. That was the same thing when even we were kids. Like my cousins had a big worry about me because I was the Christian, Catholic, goody two shoes, fucking couldn't tell a lie. Because when I was young, I had a problem where I'd get like nauseous from keeping secrets.
It so resonated though.
Yeah, it's super, super resonated. I feel like it's all over my lips. Which is nice. I'm not complaining. But I would throw up from just like holding shit in. Well, I got over that really quickly. I figured that out. I was like, well, that ain't an issue anymore. But if I'm smart, I play this to my favor. To where the adults think that I get sick. I don't tell my cousins because they'll fucking rat me out. Which is exactly what happened when I did let them into my world. That's exactly what happened. And then they tried to flip the script and say that I ratted them out. And I'm like, well, then how did I get a phone call? How did I get the phone call saying, don't lie?
Dude, I got ratted out by this kid one time. Speaking of rats. Fucking kid. I was at his house for Y2K. Remember Y2K?
Oh,
Yeah. The world was supposed to reset and the clocks couldn't handle
Zero
it. and
out.
shit.
We're
Man,
zeroed out.
oh my god. Me and my dad were stuck in this fucking house doing dumb shit, preparing for this shit. He got batteries and water for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck did we think was gonna happen?
The internet.
Oh my god.
My family got scared and they went to a fucking hotel with a bunch of other families and we all just waited them out.
Oh my
Yeah, a lot of people were wigged out by that. We were at a,
These fucking kids will never know.
Dude.
That was 20 years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah.
We have real memories of that. In
it was
kids.
almost 22 years ago.
Yeah.
Facts. That means people who are allowed to drink now. We can go to the
Yeah.
bar and drink with people who have no
No-
context of that.
no
That blows my
context.
fucking mind that
No,
we're that
they-
old.
Same with, like,
They probably
9/11,
never
it's
even
almost
heard
exactly
of
the
it.
same. Shit was like
Fucking
9 months
A.
later. You know?
Holy shit, you're right.
That's crazy, right?
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
like the people that
crazy.
were like the last ones of World War II when they like saw our generation and like the last generation that was alive or had any concept really of it, and they're like, oh well, that's it. They
But
have no
because-
no recollection of what the world was
But
at this
because
time.
our generation was the dawn of the internet when the internet
Yeah.
first started, we didn't have anything of the history to look back on other than what was history. You know, there was a lot of nothing in between. There's a lot of like nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens. Boom, something big happens, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's how it had to be. you really only made note of notable things.
Big things.
You know, now as
Everything.
our era come up, now everything since has been recorded. You know, and
and everything like second by second almost is being recorded, minute by minute. Like, yo, check this out. One of the best ways to get news right now. It's not news. I should not say that. This is not news. But one of the best way to like to get some chatter on something is going on Twitter. Like, I found I was sitting on the freeway. I was down in California, Moreno Valley, and there's this terrible fucking freeway right by Morongo. And if you're around there, you know what I'm talking about. But it's like a few lanes. It's been in construction for like years. It's always there's no shoulder, and it's really high barriers on both sides. And so I'm fucking lost my train of thought. God damn it.
I don't know. Before
Really high
that, you were
barriers
talking
on
about
both
what you were
sides.
doing on Y2K, and I totally cut you
Yeah.
off because I was like, "Fuck yeah!" That tripped me out. But yeah, do you remember
Y2K.
that story?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Y2K. I was at this kid's house. It was like a family friend. My dad was at work. He was working night shift. And I don't remember where my siblings were, but I was at this kid's house. My mom was there. And we were up in his room. And he had this shark club. Keep in mind, we're like 9, 10 years old or whatever. And he has a shark club. He's got like pictures of sharks all over his wall, like shark week shit. And shark tooth necklace, like kid was big into sharks.
Yeah.
And like I was like,
That's
okay,
his
yeah,
thing.
these
Alright,
sharks
cool,
are what's
sharks.
up. Like,
Yeah,
dude, I don't blame
sharks
you.
cool. Fine.
Sharks,
Sharks, yeah.
trucks,
Yeah,
whatever.
so whatever it is, yeah,
We're
10-year-old
little
kids,
kids,
yeah,
like-
exactly.
Pick the box. But this kid, we're hanging out and things are going good. And he says, I was asking if I could be in the shark club, and like if I want to get in, like
Yeah, let me join the shark club.
And
Let's get in.
so he's like, all
Let's
right,
be in.
here's what you got to do. And he goes over to the shelf and he grabs his jar of BBs, like for a BB gun. Remember how they come in like that screw top, like plastic?
Yeah,
shit
dude.
around?
Yeah,
And he took one out. He's
dude.
like, you have to swallow this, and then you can be in the shark club. And I was like, dude, bet. Like,
Done.
Easy.
Let's go
Done.
right now.
I shit out
And-
plenty of change bigger than
Yeah.
this. Right?
BB,
By
that's
10, I had
nothing.
already shit out 35-cent in coins. Right?
Right?
And
Oh my
I was
God.
like, you just
Oh
gotta
my
promise, like, you're not gonna tell anyone, right? Like, it's like our secret. Like,
That's usually the point of any club. You just can't be a snitch. We gotta
Yeah,
know.
we
Like,
gotta
we gotta
know.
know
We
that
gotta
shit
see
good.
it.
once I swallow this is the red pill, baby.
Yeah,
like,
basically,
I'm in the
exactly.
shark club
Yeah,
now.
you're in the
Yeah.
shark
No
club.
going
yeah.
back. And so I take the BB and I swallow it, and he's like, all right, dude, show me. And I stick my tongue out. And this fucking guy goes, Mom! Fucking yells down to his mom, runs down to him, and his mom and my mom were downstairs. He runs down and just fucking snitches on me straight away. And he's like, hey, you swallowed a BB. And like, of course, I get in trouble, and my mom's freaking out, and we go home. And I get home, and my mom's like, she made me sit on the toilet, and she's like, you have to sit there until
Oh,
I
man.
see it come out.
Oh, man.
And so I sat
That's
there.
fucking hilarious.
And I don't know how long I sat there. Honestly, I mean, I was like, kid, it felt like an eternity. it was probably like 40 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, you were there for 9 hours. Yeah,
Yeah,
as a kid.
and I don't think I actually shit it. I mean, I did shit it out eventually. I'm
Yeah, of
guessing,
course, yeah.
But like,
Eventually,
I didn't
just
have
got
to
tired
sit
of
there the
sitting
whole
there
time.
waiting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
But
like, all right,
dude,
you're
that
done.
was my Y2K, man.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh, man.
Imagine later on you going for like some random surgeon and like, hey, there was a BB in your
Metal
colon.
detector goes off every
There's
time.
there's some BB in your colon. It was kind of lodged in there.
Oh,
Does that mean anything to you? Like,
God damn it,
Y2K.
Y2K. The BB's been there for a while.
Y2K.
That's crazy. That is a hilarious story.
Oh, dude.
That is fucking
Fucked
hilarious.
me
it's
up
fucking
too.
hilarious.
Ever
Oh,
since then,
yeah.
I was like, you know what? Fuck sharks.
Fuck
Dude.
I don't give a shit about sharks. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Fuck shark.
I'm
I'm
good.
surprised you ain't on
I'll
the
go to the river.
and sharks right now. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
I
you
just-
aren't like the fucking like
Oh,
we have
man.
seen you in the news just murder sharks.
Shark Slayer.
Dude.
Just out.
I'm
Fucking
dead.
gonna get back to this kid. I'm gonna kill everything you love. Everything.
Right? I'm surprised it's not like whatever the anti-shark club is right now. Like,
Like the He-Man woman hater.
Yeah,
club.
yeah,
Fucking
yeah, you
wrestle.
enjoy
Hey, man, shark haters.
I know he's signing up, first person to sign up for the Dolphin Club. He's like, oh, you got Dolphin Club? Yeah, sign me up, G. Bless me into that shit. You fuck sharks. We bang on
Dolphins
sharks,
for
right?
life.
We bang on sharks, right? Yeah, nigga, fuck them niggas.
Oh, dude, that would be the Orca Whale Club.
Right,
They'd
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
sharks up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'd be.
Oh my god, I said, yeah,
All in it.
I'm all about the Orca Whale Club now. Fuck sharks.
I'd be all in it. I'd be all in it.
It's fucking hilarious.
Dude, Shark Week would come on Discovery on TV. Like, most little kids, when they're like 12, 13, they love that shit.
Yeah, they can't wait for Shark
Fuck
Week.
this
Yeah,
shit.
man, fuck that. I don't even like sharks anymore.
I'm gonna go rollerblade or some dumb
I'm
shit.
not in the fucking shark, bro.
Oh my
Fuck
god. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
that.
That's
I
fucking.
can't,
I mean, I totally can understand that to a degree. Like, there's a reason why I hated like fucking Superman.
Man,
and
that is a
Spider-Man for long
hilarious
time.
story. You gotta go down to fucking the open mic night in Seattle and
And
have
fucking
that story
tell
on
that
stage,
shit,
man.
dude.
I swear, bro. Like you
Oh.
record that shit, I swear you're gonna go viral as a comic on fucking YouTube. Like that'd be like your
Work it
show
out a little
special.
bit, flesh it out a little bit.
Yeah, just play that. That's like, cause the way you
That's
tell
your
it is
Bert
fucking
Kreischer
hilarious
story,
too, man.
That's
Oh,
your Bert
man.
Kreischer story. That's your machine.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
your
That's what I'm
machine
saying. Like
story.
that's his machine story. Like that shit's fucking hilarious.
Dude,
man.
It's
just
You
have
will
a
have
special-
everybody. You will have everybody online saying "fuck sharks" like
Dude,
for no
it's like,
fucking reason.
fucking
Fuck
suck.
sharks. Oh my god.
That is a
Sharks
good little
snitches,
tagline.
Like,
Fuck
fuck
sharks.
sharks.
I'm already in the Orca Whale Club, so like.
I'm already in hardcore.
Alright, we're
Like,
cool.
I had them fucking all around my room, like the striping around,
Yeah.
like that little fucking stripe of shit. It was orca whales jumping out of the water. I fucking loved orcas. I had a big ass stuffed animal orca until my dog fucking humped it until it like humped it so much that he humped holes throughout the
Oh
thing.
god.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
it went
I've
from
seen
like
it
black
before.
and white to black and yellow.
I
Like it was straight up the song.
had like a six
Fucking
foot.
Wiz
I had a
Khalifa.
6 foot stuffed giraffe that I bought for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day. And my little Chiweenie, half Chihuahua, half wiener dog, fucked the shit out of this thing to the point where it had to go in the dumpster. It was terrible. It
That was exactly
God.
this thing had to. At first, it had to go away from my room, like I couldn't
Yeah.
deal with it, and then it had to just get thrown away because like he fucked the eye socket out of it, like, all over the eye and shit. Like this motherfucker was brutal. He would like sit there and
like,
gnaw
yeah,
on
you
it,
felt bad
and,
for
like,
the stuffed
lick
animal
and
after a
flip
while.
around
like,
and fuck it in the face. He would never like
right,
try
like,
to get it
there's
from
no
the
way
back
you're
end.
enjoying this anymore. Like, you gotta get rid of this, please.
This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible.
Dude,
And
some
my,
dogs are just horny.
my little brother and sister, we cut his shit too. They're like, it's supposed to make him less horny. He was still, even when he was like stitched up,
After it.
he was still after it. We had to hide it while he was getting like waiting for the wounds to heal up, because he would just rip his stitches out. He was just like, "Arr-gah-gah-gah." The only reason he ever ran away was to go and try to fuck this giant white dog over down the street. Like he's a little Yorkie, about yay big, and this husky dog was massive in the neighbor's yard. And somehow he would always get it through the fence, no matter what we did to their fence or they did to their fence to try to keep dogs from getting out. And all the dogs in the neighborhood would come and try to fuck this dog. It was ridiculous. You would, when I would go and find him in this yard, there would be 3 other dogs there, all different breeds, trying to fuck this one dog. And my dog, the funniest thing I'd ever seen, he comes running across the yard, and the dog's standing up on all fours, back turned to him. And he goes huffing along and jumps in the air and starts humping in the air like he's gonna fucking land in and just be good. Just start going. And the dog, he lands on the dog, and I'm impressed by this point. I'm like, he's fucking got it.
Damn.
He's got it. And she just sits down. He falls off, and she walks away. And I started dying laughing. I was like, oh, that's just fucked. So she walks to the other side of the yard. He would have done this until he died.
Yeah.
He just comes running back and forth across the yard
Yeah,
until
he's
we
not
go
gonna
in and
stop.
snatch his ass. And I've never seen this dog so mad in my entire life than when I grabbed him by the scruff, picked him up, and he just tried to bite the shit out of me. Tried to bite the shit. He's like, I want to stay here. I need some doggy pussy, and you fucking up the game, bro. And I'm like, I'm sorry, bro.
You are extreme cock blocking right now.
I'm sorry. I saved your life from a fucking pit bull already, dude. I can't have this female dog, when she's done playing with you, eat you.
Right?
Because she could. And I can't have it. It's fucked up. That dog was fucking hilarious, though. He was brutal, though, when it came to, like, any kind of fucking rodent.
Any
Watch them
rodent?
take... Oh, my God. They're bred for, like, hunting down possums and rats and shit.
Okay.
And that, you could tell. When I caught him with a possum, I'd never seen that he turned into a fucking wolf. Like, he went from Yorkshire Terrier to wolf. It was the most
That's
insane
fucking
thing.
crazy.
Like, his hair fucking needled out and shit, and he
Damn.
flips this thing over with one paw, just rolls it over, and then goes down and rips its fucking throat out, and just looks at the door. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? He looks the happiest I've ever seen that dog. He was the most content he'd ever been from murdering this thing. And he looks at me like, love me for what I've done. Love me
I'm a good
for
boy,
this
right?
thing.
Right.
This
I
is
did.
what I'm bred to do, and you shall love me for it. And I am a fucking like 8-year-old child at the time, just terrified of this fucking. I'm like, what the fuck? And he covered in blood. I'm like, as I got older, I respected it way
Yeah.
more.
I gotta respect. I've always loved dogs, but I got a respect for dogs, and I learned that I was fast from being chased by a fucking dog. when I
Oh,
was a
yeah.
kid. I learned that I was real fast.
That's
And I like there was a dog in my neighborhood that he always barked at me. And it was a mean ass, vicious little pit bull. Like I could tell he would tear me limb from limb. I was
yeah.
never much human to actually take down. You know, like
I ain't got a lot
so
here.
I got a lot of ass to chew off, and I could tell this little thing would chew it all off.
Oh,
And he was just a vicious ass little pit bull, a little red nosed pit bull. And he would just bark all the time. So I got sick of it, and then I started taunting him, and I'd start, waving my stick across the gate and ting 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 every time I pass. Anytime I pass, I kick the gate or whatever, and my dogs get aggressive, and I'm cussing at it. Years go by or whatever, and then one day I get off the school bus, and there's like 30 kids at the bus stop. The dog's gate is just open. I had never seen it open. I lived in a neighborhood for 10 years at that point, and I'd never seen that gate open. Now the gate's just open and the dog's just sitting there. Looked like it was waiting for me.
Damn.
just to
There's
get
30 kids at the bus stop, and when I take a step, it darts at me.
Fuck.
And so I have to book it. I live on the same block that my bus stop is on, but I straight past my fucking house. Gone. I moved so fast.
Got
I'm
backpack on too?
back full backpack. I'm
Yeah.
talking the textbooks that you used to have to go and get the brown paper bag or whatever to put your book cover over it so you don't mess up your book. I don't even know if kids still do that shit anymore. I think they all got like tablets and iPads now.
Yeah, I think so.
But I remember we used to have to put book covers on that shit, and I had like 6 of those bitches in my
Yeah.
backpack,
fuck all that. I was homeschooled.
and I was gone, moving. Outran this little pit bull easily, and this is a fast little motherfucker. And everybody who saw me running, they were like, "Yo, you're fast."
That's fast. But yeah, I'm running for my life.
I was running for my life.
life.
And I ran track. I was a state championship track runner for Everett, and I still don't think I've cleared that time that I ran from
Everett.
that fucking dog.
I'm like, put a dog
Like
behind me.
whenever the fucking 200 time, my best 200 time ever, it probably has shit on that day because I was
Smoked him.
We need a
moving.
red-nosed pit. Mean as
real.
shit. Put him behind me. And as soon as that thing goes off, let it go.
Yep.
Make sure that there's somebody at the other end, though, to shoot it in its head as soon as I go past the
There would
finish
have
line.
been few things that would have been faster than me in that short burst. There was probably like 4 blocks that I ran before I turned the corner
dude.
and hoped the dog wasn't there. But man, you could have put anything on the side. It could have been a bicycle, anybody doing anything. It could have been a Toyota Camry. I'm telling you, I would have been faster than anything moving that day.
Because I was the
wild.
fat kid, I knew I couldn't run like that. Like, I was good for a short distance, but it would be block maybe. Block, I was faster than shit, but after that,
He's
it's
like
over.
Yeah.
immediately out of the
Yeah, out of the situation. But
Yeah.
the dog's going for the long haul. And we had a mean fucking pit bull in our neighborhood. And my mom would always get fucking scared. And I didn't have, like, good relations with my mom. So I was like, well, I'm going to kill the dog if it comes after us. And so I started learning shit about, like, how to take, because they always say they had lockjaw and tear your arm off and shit. What I learned is when they do, you let it come to bite you, and then you push straight down into its body. And that opens the jaw up, and it keeps it from being able to push down and bite down. So you might get a little scratched, but it ain't gonna fucking be able to bite through you. When you keep that pin, and it locks them down like that. and then you grab and snap its fucking neck immediately. Like, it has to happen quickly. Whether or not I would be fast enough for that, I don't know, but I always told myself I would be. I've never been put in the position to have to deal with it, because thank God most angry dogs like me. Most of them like me.
Fucking Robbie Gold and punching the shit out
Straight
of
up.
any animal that do not care.
I
Sorry,
got
all
pretty
the
good,
animal
like-
rights people.
You remember-
if it's me or some animal, it is going to be 3 easy points field goal.
You remember the older
Game
cats that
over.
lived above us on 34th?
Yeah.
honk and all that.
Uh-huh.
So they used to bring dogs to me, old like fighting pits and shit, through this lady that they knew who would rescue these dogs, and she
Yeah,
ended up
that's-
running
that's
out of
amazing,
spots
yeah.
for them, and so I'd take them through her out to Cary, and she would rehabilitate them. One of her friends is with like one of the meanest ones I had ever got, this fucking female, and like the lady was scared of the dog. And for some reason, the dog just came out and sat right next to me. And she's like, I've never... Here's the fucking leash.
No,
It's
it's
all
yours.
yours.
It's
Get out of the car and
It's
just
yours
bam.
now, really.
And I was like, I don't understand.
It
She
didn't
seems
bite
like
you,
a
it's yours.
fucking sweetheart. Like, she was such a sweet... It was the sweetest dog to me. As soon as we get into the house on 34th, the little apartment there, the wooden table that we had for a while, it broke the leg on that. It bit through the fucking leg. Like, we're talking a 4-inch fucking wide leg of wood, and it
Like a nod
bit
through
through it. As soon as she saw somebody else, she went fucking berserk and bit through that. I had to shove her in Joey's room and lock her in there until I got her into a car and fucking, because at the time I didn't have a whip, and I was like, all right, called up somebody. I'm like, hey, need some help taking this dog out to a friend's house. It's mean, but loved Carrie. Dog loved Carrie. She rehabilitated her, gave her to this girl Chase. Chase still has the dog to this day.
Damn.
Fucking crazy.
Good dog.
Like, went from like a fucking mean bitch to like a sweetheart. Absolutely gorgeous dog. I couldn't believe it. And she was like bred to fight. Like, she was a fighter from a pup, and then she lost her last bout, and this lady would grab him before that and take him off before people would fucking
Try to
believe
rehab
him.
him.
Yeah.
At least they get a chance.
Yeah, it was a beautiful dog, but that was the meanest one that I got. Like, all the rest of them were pretty good. This one, she's straight up, I've never seen that before. I was like, well, what the fuck is wrong? What is wrong? Like, you seen one person, the person doesn't even look at you, and you just freak the fuck out and take a leg out. Like, that could be a human bone easily. She could have just went through a leg. Straight up human leg.
I thought my dog was such a sweetheart. Like, well, my dog was a sweetheart, but it was super fly. It was a pure-blooded Chinese chow, so super fluffy, super beautiful, and it was always nice to everybody in my family. But I saw it eat a cat one day, and I was like, ooh.
Damn.
I never looked at her the same. It was crazy. I never like to see that, like, the wolf really comes out in
Yeah.
the dog when they eat something like
It
that.
gives you
There's-
a fucking
there's
whole nother
blood all over, like,
respect.
and she had like she had a white nose, but the rest of her was brown, like golden brown, super fluffy, like just a like teddy bear style, like
Yeah,
overgrown teddy bear type,
Just
super
mow.
fluffy, and just mowing on this cat, and she looks up and her face is all bloody, and she starts showing all her teeth and shit, and I was like,
Oh my god.
that's my fucking dog, right?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
and it's here to protect you.
And I was like,
It wants
okay,
to
all
save
right.
your life.
I never really treated the dog bad, but I definitely treated it extra good. After that, I was like, okay,
Gives you a different
you
respect
could
for it.
fuck something up. All
Yeah,
right.
like
I
all
saw-
it takes is a turn.
I saw a video recently of a guy who he has like a vacuum cleaner, like a shop vac or whatever, with a like long hose on it, and he's standing in front of his dog like vacuuming, and then he takes the vacuum and kind of puts it on himself and like fakes that he's getting attacked by it, and the dog jumps. The dog like looks up and like assesses the situation, and then jumps up and just like grabs the hose of the vacuum and just like pulls it down.
That's
Yeah, and it's
crazy.
like, dude, it's so wild to me that like the dog can like it recognizes
Yeah,
you.
like, hold up,
Hey, this
shit.
is my person. They
It's
are
in danger.
they're in distress.
Yeah.
I
Something's
don't know
not right.
what this thing is,
I don't know
but
what the
like
fuck's going on.
I
I'm
can
like,
identify that this
This
is
is not
he's like,
usually
he's got,
attached
like,
to him.
Yeah, he's got like his arm and here, and his other arm, and like the dog like just jumps right in and grabs the nozzle specifically, and it's like
That's
it's just
crazy.
really wild that he's out there just looking out
That
for his
is-
dude like that. That's
Yeah,
so
it's
sick.
nuts. Yeah.
That's why I want a dog so bad. My
Mhm.
grandma's terrified of big dogs, and that's what I want. It's like a
I
big,
used to be
low
scared of
French
big dogs
German
because when I was a kid, we went to we were homeschooled too, and so we would end up going to a lot of family friends' houses.
Oh, yeah.
And like doing shit over there, and we had this one friend we went over, and they had a huge backyard. It was really long, like a football field almost, but it was pretty skinny. So like the only things we could do are throw balls, like kind of long
this
ways,
long distance,
and or just like, hey, want to race to the fence
yeah,
and back or
pretty
whatever,
much,
you know? But like these
pretty much
dogs,
limited to the straight activities, the
Yeah.
back and forths.
they had like 3 big dogs, a couple black labs, I think, and then I want to say a pit bull, but 3 good sized dogs. They were all full grown, and we would all we were kids playing sports out in the fucking yard, and anytime you would start running, the dogs would chase you
right
and bite
after
your
you.
heels. They'd bite your heels and your legs and shit. And like, I guess they're playing, but like when you're a
but for
kid,
you, you're like,
especially,
oh,
it's
shit,
like, yo,
like-
you're fucking hurt. I don't want to do this. Like,
yeah,
what
it's not how
this
I
is
play.
scary.
This fucking sucks. And like, it's not like, like the kids that lived there, that they were their dogs. They didn't do it to them. It was just us
It's
kids
like,
that didn't live there. It's
to
like,
play with, yeah.
well, it sucks being here. Like, I can't do
Yeah,
anything
can't
but
really
walk
do it,
around.
yeah.
Play like
Because the dog
walking
keeps
tag.
attacking me.
Keep
That's
walking
fun.
tag, yeah.
Yeah, but so I that put a bad dog taste in my mouth from a young age as a kid, and I didn't fuck with dogs for a long time. But dogs
I
are cool
have
now.
less
Dogs.
problems with
Yeah.
dogs because than I do their owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog
Very
owners.
Well, usually
are
they come
usually
hand
the
in
problem.
hand.
Exactly, yeah,
Hand and
right,
paw,
yeah.
so
that's
it's hard to
exactly.
separate the two a lot.
Well,
Exactly.
it's more like if you have an aggressive dog and then you try to yell at me for socking your dog in the face when it tries to bite me.
Yeah,
How dare
I'm
you
training the dog in the first
try
place
to
for you.
Stand your
get
ground.
mad at me for you not training your animal properly.
I've been really once I get a house, I want to buy one of those like oversized dogs, like mastiffs or something.
Yeah, I fucking love them.
Like-
A buddy of mine had one. You could ride it. It's a fucking small horse. It's literally a small horse.
A couple neighbors we had growing up in our neighborhood had 2 Great Danes.
Oh,
And they had a fence that
Ooh.
was like massive and these dogs they would just sit there with their head like over the fence.
Over the fences.
And it's like they could just like
Fucking privacy
they could
fences.
just like fucking
Yeah.
hop right over probably.
just spraying right
Right.
up over that shit.
Dude. Yeah, I always thought that they were gonna get out one day.
Oh, dude, it's so.
They never did, but it was kind of like the dog you were talking about. As we would walk by from the bus, because like we were homeschooled up until sophomore year of high school.
I was homeschooled
Yeah, it was
for
freshman
7th and 8th grade.
I was
Okay.
homeschooled from after like starting the first couple months, I think, of first grade, and like there was some issues with the first grade teacher, and then they were like, he needs to go on Ritalin, and my mom was like, you ain't putting my fucking kid on drugs, so I'm gonna put him through Alabama PACE, all religious either way. Terrible decision. Don't do that.
That's
to your
crazy.
children.
Yeah, I did the Louisiana PACE, same exact program.
Yeah.
Super religious.
Like, did your Revolution book say because Jesus wanted it?
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
how was the Revolutionary War won? Jesus wanted it.
God,
I know this is
Oh.
wrong. I know this is wrong.
This kind of history book.
I do actual history with my stepdad, and he's like a history buff, and so he's telling me the real history and shit. Like, the first book report I ever did was on Petty Officer 3rd Class John Morrison. I hope I'm saying that right. It's been years. But he was the first African American to like shoot down a Zero fighter off of the deck, and he wasn't supposed to be able to do that. But since we were at war, he just did it.
Yeah.
He went
It
from
needed to be done.
and he was the only person who had the fucking nuts to do it. And so he was the only person shooting down fucking zero-wing fighters at the time and saved the people that did get saved. Were a lot of the reason because of him. He jumped onto a 50 cal and just started chopping,
shit.
just dumping. He was a cook's mate. So he went from peeling potatoes to shooting
heard that
50
story.
calibers off of the fucking thing while you have planes dropping into your ship,
yeah.
and watching all these people that have treated you like shit and still having the gall to jump on that and save their fucking life. Like, that to me
Making
was
yourself
the story.
the hugest target for the enemy.
Yeah,
like, ooh,
massive
that
target.
thing's a problem. Take it out.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
you're drawing all the attention
Yeah,
to
you're drawing
yourself,
all
like,
the
to
attention
save all these other
Save
people.
who treat you like garbage.
Garbage. And
who
like,
are still probably gonna like a lot of them. I'm sure will respect him after that. And
But a lot will
like,
still
a lot-
treat him
Yeah,
as
I was still see like garbage. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
which is fucked up. And he still was willing to do that sacrifice. So I was like, this is a great story. I'm gonna write a book report on this. And so I knew that history, and when I was reading these pages, I'm like, well, this shit's fucked. I don't understand what we're doing here, but this sounds like brainwashing. And then I started learning about like Common Core in school. I'm like, why is education called anything other than education? That is it in its term. Like, what Common Core, the only time the government makes code names for shit is when it's an operative. It's a mission. There's something that they're doing specifically. And when they change the entire thing, and now we got all kinds of other shit that they're trying to change it to. Like, just history's history. That we should just leave history to what history is. Like,
Well,
that.
I don't think people are like trying to change history. Well, there's always people
There's
that are
people
trying to change history.
history.
But like, A, those people, you aren't gonna fucking stop them. And B, for the most part,
we could.
oh, I don't know. I
You
think
don't
if
wanna
that
know
shit's
the answer.
happening, it ain't people that know about it on YouTube and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like if like people that have enough power to control the world in the ways that some people think that they control the world, I think would have so much power that you would. It's like inconceivable. Like you. I don't think you'd be reading about it on fucking Reddit comments and shit. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
but you
Like,
are seeing
makes
those kinds
sense.
of things like in the news right now. Dave Chappelle is a prime example. Like, the dude's the most famous fucking comedian in the world, and he's getting so much backlash.
yeah, but that's business.
Yeah, but it's starting to affect business. Like, Netflix has gone back on them standing up for him because it's
'Cause
so
it's
much
losing
hate
them money.
starting to go into it. So much
they
hate
will
starting
always
to go
follow
into-
the bottom
They aren't
line. That's
even-
capitalism.
But they aren't losing money. More people are fucking.
Well, yeah, because there's no such thing as bad publicity when you're that big of a company. So
Exactly.
they want to keep the drama going. They want all the attention they can get. That's dollars every single minute they're on the
But
website.
the fact
you
that
know?
a single comedian is the draw of all that hate, and Netflix is just kind of in the middle. Like, they're in the middle. And if it wasn't Dave Chappelle, you think Netflix would say anything about any of it? No, they would just pull it. Period.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it is Dave Chappelle, so
Yeah,
they're gonna
he
milk
is
this
yeah.
shit.
oh yeah,
They
they
got-
definitely milk it.
They
Yeah,
got you
we
just
heard
follow
that.
the money. Like
But
they
we're
got a
going-
financial opportunity here.
The fact that such a small majority of people, like it's a minority group of people, have so much voice to be able to do that to a comedian that definitely has more voices than this group, but this group is so loud that it's effective.
I don't know if it is effective though. If his special's still up there and everyone's still making money.
I try to stream it at least
We'll
once
see.
a day just so it stays up there.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know.
I
Like,
do that kind of shit too, and that's probably why it stays up there. Shit like
Yeah.
that, like the small handful of people, the other small minority group that's on the opposite side of fucking canceling people for speech.
what I think is if there's any sort of like operation going on, it's fucking something that was cooked up between Chappelle and Netflix or some other deal made where it's like, hey, you want to know how your special can get, you know, a fuckload of views,
Yeah, your
many
whole
more than
network.
it wouldn't have got than it would have gotten. I mean, it's Chappelle; he's gonna get a lot of views, but you're gonna get even more views if you're, yeah, if you're. It's controversy. Like that's what sells. That'll always be the case.
Well, I mean that's every single that's the whole backing like supporters backing point is like every fucking one of his comedy specials is controversial. It's all controversy. That's what he does as a comedian is controversy. So why are we throwing such a hissy fit about it now?
I don't know. I
It's
mean, I
weird.
think if you listen to the people that are saying that, which it sounds, I'm not even familiar with the story. I don't know what he said. It sounds like he said something.
It was
I've just
trans-
seen him.
it
I've seen
was
his name
like-
in the news a bunch.
It was
but-
trans shit, like because he
you
discussed
haven't
with
watched
the
the
trans
special?
comedian.
No, I saw the one
so
before that. I
good.
haven't seen the new one yet.
It's
Are you
so
already a
good.
Dave Chappelle fan though?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll love it. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, he
It's
talked
fucking-
about some trans stuff in his last special.
in his
too,
last
but,
one, and
like,
so he brought that up again, and then he also brought
The whole
up some
special's
stuff
dope.
like
That's
the
fucking
whole
hilarious.
special's dope. But like,
He just
even
said-
a
he never just talks about trans
He-
people.
yeah,
That's
he
like
talks
a
about
part of the thing. He talks
everybody.
about everybody. He's like, he's some fucked up Jewish jokes. He does some fucked up, all kinds
Everything.
of jokes. You know, everybody
Like,
got
white,
smoked,
black,
so-
Asian, fucking
Yeah.
every color in
Everybody
between,
got smoked, and it
yellow,
was all
red, fucking
hilarious.
purple. Like all of it was funny as shit. But there were two trans people in the crowd, and those two trans people, like they show them on video. They got pissed. They went to the Netflix executives. The Netflix executives backed Dave Chappelle. Then the entire Netflix crew of people that are trans that work for them staged walkouts and stuff like that. Then he tried to back it up and say, you know, I may have been a little harsh on the way that I said it before, da 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 da. And then he's been slowly just kind of backing, and backtracking because
Milking and milking and milking.
it may be milking, but the fact that just like a small little tweet, and yes, they called it. I mean, Dave Chappelle called it in the special. He calls it right off of the bat. He's like, I know exactly how this is going to play out, and I don't care.
Well,
And he
sounds
really
like he had a
does.
plan.
And he probably did, but the fact that even this community has the kind of power to fucking, it's such a small community comparatively, and that it has all, and that was one of the things why they got upset, is he was like, did black people just have to put on some fucking booty shorts and shit in order to get fucking, like, y'all you're so loud that you guys have made it through what took us 100 fucking plus years, hundreds of years to get to, you did in years. Like, what? It does. I'm a little jealous. And they go past all of that, and then his story about his friend who's trans, and like they take that joke out of context. There's a lot of shit that they just gets taken out of context, and that is just the times. Not a lot
I
of
know
that is
society has a
planned.
tendency to,
And you can
to
plan.
overcorrect in a pendulum both ways until
Yeah,
they kind of
yeah.
figure out.
I'm just scared,
Listeners.
like, if we go so far pendulum-wise, right? Knowing that we go in a pendulum, if it goes so far to this side,
Oh yeah, it's like it's been hit with a baseball bat on the way to this
Yeah,
side. I'm not
and-
saying It's
but my fear is the other direction. Like, it goes back
yeah.
to the middle for a while, but then we go back the other way, which is not a good thing.
Not at all.
That's not a good thing. And so I would prefer the swings to be smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, instead of us fucking going right out to the fucking ends of the earth this way and then back to the ends of the earth the other way, neither
I'm
one
pretty
is
sure there's like a
good.
Vsauce video about that whole like pendulum thing with society, and there's like terminology for like larger swings, and there's like graphs and numbers that like
wow.
analyze all that stuff.
Not that smart.
I love Vsauce.
Yeah, dude. I
may
want to
have
say it's a
seen that
Vsauce video, but he like there is a visual of it, and it's very. It just shows. It proves that it's like so cyclical. You know. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything,
And
and that's
yeah,
what
it-
scares me is like how big those fucking cyclicals are.
Mhm.
And if I'm seeing like to where like gender is a construct, like what sexual organs you're born with doesn't mean anything anymore. Basic fucking facts of the world don't mean anything. It scares me for what goes the other way. Like, if this is the progressive side, what happens when we get to the fucking other side that everyone's terrified of, and it goes hard that way? We don't want that. Nobody wants that. Why can't we just kind of swing in the middle, like a fucking little easy swing? I would
Yeah,
prefer
bro.
just like just rocking in the cradle.
Well, I mean, basically what you're saying is why can't everyone just like fucking be
Get
chill,
along.
get
Yeah.
along, and have
Smoke
a good
some
time?
fucking
And that is
weed,
echoing
people.
the people of hundreds and hundreds of years that are just wondering the same thing. Like, there's all these craziness around me, and I just want to chill.
Yeah.
And I think that I would be willing to say that for most of humanity, that has been most people's baseline is like,
Oh, I agree.
I'm good with what's up. I'm just chilling. And then there's some people over here that are causing some ruckus. They're yelling about shit. Like, oh my god, okay, fine, I'm gonna pick this side because you guys won't shut up.
Yeah.
And now eventually it boils over to two sides have a conflict. Like, and it just goes
That's it.
over and over. I
What
don't know.
happens to us in the middle? Like, I don't believe in either side. I think both sides are fucking bad. I want to be here.
Exactly.
I believe each side has a little bit to offer. Like, I believe in being... I've always believed in, like, that saying, like, you're socialist with your family, you're fucking progressive or conservative with your...
Money,
Yeah, and then something else with your something else.
penis,
Yeah,
progressive with your penis.
progressive
I
with
think
your penis. But it's, you know, those things... and then something with your God or something. But I don't really believe in God. I believe in the universe. Like, if you read the Bible, it basically tells you what the universe is. It's omnipresent. It's omnipowerful and it's omni-knowing. It lasts eternally until it doesn't. I mean, that's the fucking universe as far as we've been able to tell with hundreds of years of science. Like, that's the best we've gotten to.
Sounds like God to me.
There's some shit out there. The shit's got some energy. It's got power and shit that we don't even know about. When you die, your energy doesn't die. It just goes out into the universe and helps push it out further. That sounds like heaven or hell, depending on your outlook on all things. And that seems like fucking religion boiled down to me. It's like how religion and science fit together. Fuck it.
There's a film on that. I think it was like, what was it, Zeitgeist or something like that, where they kind of break that whole thing down, like, or how all the religions are eerily similar and eerily similar to astrology.
100%.
Yeah,
well, I mean, when you're like at the base, you know, the earliest times when a lot of these concepts were being like thought of for the first time, like it's all you got. It's like the sky was so much more of a part of everyday life.
Oh yeah,
for everyone,
and you
know?
saw so much more from it.
No light pollution, you know, and every it's those like constellations in the sky are so prominent because like that was like what is out in nature. Like you go outside half the time, like when it's dark, you see that big thing. You always see that thing. Sometimes it changes. Sometimes it's over here. Sometimes it's over there. Hey, when it's over there, the leaves are always orange. That's weird. Right. And then like you start putting two and two together, and next thing you know, like
then you start to give it a reason why it's happening.
Yeah.
And if you can't like decipher the reason why, it's God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it was the sun god, the moon god, the earth god, the fucking wind god. All of those gods came first, and then it was the one true God after multiple gods through the Greek histories and all that shit.
So like, wait, we can explain the wind.
Yeah. It's a god, or it's a demigod of a god that once was a god before.
Just trust us.
Facts. They live on a mountain somewhere. I promise. Oh, it sank in the ocean. I mean,
dude, I don't have any problem with religion. I grew up pretty religious, and I think it's whatever people want to do what they want to do. Like, go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
But I think it's hilarious when people like the whole concept that like Jesus is like looking out for America and God bless America. Like Jesus, you know, the God of the universe, the king of everything, the creator of everything, the entire, you know, whatever.
Heavens and earth.
Dude's got American flags up in his front yard. American flag wallpaper inside, dude. He's fucking grilling up steaks all day. The guy's Team USA. Like, wait,
he's
that
Team
makes
USA.
absolutely no sense that like
whatsoever.
the God, like you have so little respect for God that you think he's like a fan of one country and it happens to be yours.
The one that you live in, that like God somehow ordained.
That is fucking.
Then you must believe
and
that
like,
it's ran by the Jews because he offered them the Holy Land. If you read any testament of the Bible, that's
and
who
either way, it's like if you boil it down, it's a very like disrespectful to the
100%.
Concept of the religion in general.
The
like,
dude straight up comes from Bethlehem, Israel. Like, if anything, would he not be
like, why would
Israeli
he not rep
and
Israel
loving
or, like,
fucking Israel?
Egypt
and Israel, like, yeah, they're an ally.
Dude, yeah.
But
sure.
if they have the ability,
switching teams, he's
like, why would he be
he's a bandwagon god.
He's Mossad, bro. God's Mossad. He's Israeli spy. That's the Mossad. They come. He's over here in America, just
especially when at the time when like we're at like war with Middle Eastern countries, right? And they're like, oh yeah,
God blesses America.
Like, I'm pretty sure he was Israeli. Man.
I'm pretty sure he lived just over here.
This cruise missile at this poor Iraqi village. Jesus, thank you, God.
My cousins live there though, but we appreciate you, God. Yeah, but they sacrificed lambs and shit for thousands of years to me. Like, the Jews have been doing it for a while.
So what have you done for me lately, God?
Yeah. What have you done for me lately?
Well, did you see the Super Bowl show last year, God? That shit was sick.
Yeah, the shit just doesn't really make that much sense. That's like I find religions fascinating in the the psychology aspect. Of,
Yeah, and like the
people.
historical context.
Yeah, and the
of
historical
everything.
context, but it's like that even in itself, like historical psychology. Like, how is it that an idea of like one man, all powerful, like born of a virgin, like spread so deeply to where people die for it? Same with any other religion, like people
Or
are
any other
willing to-
idea.
yeah, exactly.
Whether it's like fuck the IRS or like
Agreed.
Facts,
a lot of people
yeah,
died
I
for
mean,
some crazy
Jonestown,
ideas.
like
Yeah,
Jonestown
facts,
or
yeah.
Georgetown. Is it Jonestown?
Jonestown.
Yeah, like that dude. That was their
basic.
basic why they left America and went to the Philippines, I believe, and bought that land is because he was like, "Fuck the IRS."
Yeah,
That was
probably.
literally it. He's like, "I'm not paying taxes. Fuck that. That is an American." And he was able to buy this fucking land for cheaper and not have to pay taxes, own it outright, and do whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so he set up an army and all kinds of shit. And then once the U.S. came in and was like, we want to take the people that want to go. And he was like, fuck that, everybody dies. That's
Come
what
with
happened.
me.
Except
spaceship.
not everybody died. Some people lived. They're witnesses. I watched their interviews. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Like this old lady was like asleep inside of her room.
I think I watched it
Because
like
you're
right
sick.
before the whole stupid Tiger King shit came out.
Yeah.
Fucking
That was-
Tiger King.
It was definitely Carol Baskin who killed. She's a schmurder, and I'm not even a snitch, but we all know it.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah, she snitched on herself. Isn't me snitching if you already dry snitched yourself out?
Yeah, she
Me,
really.
that's just me being a news reporter.
At that point.
She did the old O.J. Simpson.
Yeah,
I didn't kill this person, but if I did, this is how I
I
would
do it. Yeah.
Like, didn't
He
O.J.
wrote a fucking
Yeah, he wrote a
book.
whole book. Carol Baskin.
If
like,
I did, like,
did that whole thing
Oh,
about
put
how
them black
chopping
and
them
white.
up in the grinder and whatever. Like,
oh yeah,
how
like I would
easy it
blend
would
it
be or
up
whatever
and feed
she
it to the
said.
fucking I would just feed him in little pieces out to the fucking like explains it in detail. Like
Mhm.
how would you know how you would do it unless you've done it? I mean, I've thought of some fucked up shit into grave detail and explain it. I can explain it in grave detail, but there's a certain look when I do it. It's like I'm thinking about it, like as if it was a great idea that I've hatched upon. She had that look like I'm telling you the recipe that I've used.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is just
Said that was some
another
experience.
cooking like recipe. Like this is how you bake my cookies. Well, this is how you kill husbands.
It's like, this is what I know works best.
Exactly. Like I have proven experience. I'm drooling on myself.
Oh,
Oh my god.
call it a wrap.
Oh dude.
Well, how long we been on? I think
I
that
don't
thing's
know.
covering the timer.
This thing is covering the time.
It feels like 48 minutes. I don't know when we started,
Oh,
but
we're well past 48
you think
minutes.
so? Oh shit.
Oh yeah, we're at an hour and 2 minutes and 30
Fuck.
seconds.
Not bad. Well timed.
Not bad. Alright, so I guess we'll call it since I'm drooling on myself, even though I'm not that high. I've had like a weird lisp thing today. When I did the review earlier, I was listening back to it, and I got this weird S, like syllable, silling thing that's going on. Yeah, it took me a little while to clean it up and make it sound worth a shit.
Practice
Hopefully
your
this doesn't-
fucking tongue twisters. The she
Yeah.
sells seashells by the
Seashore.
Seashore.
I was having a difficult time. It was a problem. I don't know why my S's were so, but they were.
You got a lazy tongue.
I got a lazy everything. I'm just lazy in general. And
Lazy.
with that, we're out, y'all. Smoke Shed Podcast. My brother
Peace.
Heavy, Andrew here,
Yo.
and your boy Lazy.
Later.